Hey guys, welcome back. Halo Reach on PC is finally out, and as you can probably tell by that title, I am a very, very happy man. But before we get to why I'm so happy and touch on my sort of overall first impressions with the first mainline Halo release since 2015, we just need to first take a brief look back and see where we've come from. Now, this decade hasn't been great for Halo. We kicked it off with Reach, which, albeit was contentious, it was also loved by many and retained a pretty damn good popularity throughout its entire lifespan. Then came Halo 4, promising the return of Chief and a return to form for Halo as a franchise, but instead delivered quite the opposite and dealt a pretty significant blow to Halo's popularity. Then, the original launch of MCC, something that looked to be the saving grace for Halo. Everything we loved about classic Halo was coming back, updated and modernized across the board. But as we know, it wasn't meant to be. What followed was one of, if not the worst video game launch in history, dealing yet another deathly blow to Halo. And then Halo 5, easily, without a doubt, the most contentious Halo title of all time, introducing microtransactions, abilities that didn't suit Halo's gameplay and completely nuking the story. It's safe to say that Halo in the 2010s was very, very different to Halo in the noughties. It all looked bleak, very bleak. Years of either bad content or just no content whatsoever. But then, a light at the end of the tunnel.
Pizza time.
To round off what was undoubtedly a rough decade, we have Halo on PC, something people have waited over 12 years for. But has it lived up to the hype? Is it bug-free? Has it absolved 343 of the sins of the original MCC launch? Has it saved Halo? Are we back? Yes. Now, when I say this, I genuinely mean it. The launch of MCC and Reach PC could not have gone any better. Everything that needed to go right went right. This MCC relaunch is exactly what the original launch needed to be. All of the game-breaking issues from the last flight are pretty much completely fixed. The game feels smooth to play. There's no input delay, server lag, or anything like that. There's only one slight issue right now, which is the audio can sometimes bug out and be a little bit delayed, but from my experience at least, that only happens when your PC is under like a pretty heavy load, so for me it only happened when I was streaming, so it could be a pretty niche bug. Somehow as well, the servers on launch were perfectly fine, despite the insane population. Like 99% of modern video games have absolutely god-awful server issues on day one when they get flooded by all the new players, but not MCC. Not MCC. I cannot believe that of all the games to not have server issues, it's the Master Chief Collection. How the turntables. The performance of the game is great as well, at least mostly. Like I said earlier, the game does have a few issues when you try and stream it, at least for me, especially without a dedicated streaming PC, but other than that, the performance is absolutely stellar. Uncapped frame rate is there, and as far as I can tell, working as intended. Keyboard and mouse feels incredible, and it's really showing in the overall hype surrounding this game. I've honestly not seen this much positivity surrounding Halo for like the better part of a decade now. Not just in the Halo community as well, but in the overall gaming community. Not only has MCC PC put Halo back on the mainstream map, it's done it for all the right reasons. Seeing so many people talking about Halo again and then actually playing it as well is so surreal. It's amazing. Getting on MCC and seeing like my entire Steam friends list just playing Reach is like a dream come true. It really is. I honestly have to just keep pinching myself. Like, we've waited so long for this inevitable Halo revival to happen. We've stuck with this franchise through thick and thin, and now that it might actually be happening, it doesn't feel real. Like, we've waited so long for it, I cannot believe that it might actually be happening. But let's just take a quick look at the population first before we move on to the next thing. Now, prepare to be very happy. On launch night, we topped off at over 160,000 people just on Steam. Now, this doesn't, and I repeat, this does not include anyone playing either with Game Pass on the Windows Store or anybody playing on Xbox, which I imagine will both be pretty sizable numbers as well. On top of that, MCC PC was also the 3rd biggest release on Steam throughout the entirety of 2019. Second, in fact, when you don't count Destiny 2, considering that was free to play. And on the population chart, it ranked out at 3rd, almost challenging Dota 2's numbers. It even beat PUBG. Like, what is going on? What is this timeline? And then there's the sales figures. Now, brace yourselves. These figures are only for Steam, no other platform, and also, as far as I can tell, they're pretty reliable. I'm pretty sure that these are pulled directly from Steam's database. So, only 3 days after launch, MCC PC has sold between 1 and 2 million copies. Million. So, to say that the launch has been a wild success is the understatement of the century. But, now the real challenge begins. Maintaining this population. Now, the population will drop a little bit. That happens with any game. That's perfectly normal. But now, 343 have got to try and make sure that that drop in population is as small as possible. And honestly, I think they're in a pretty damn good position to make that so. The core game is incredible. There's loads of content, it plays well, it's optimized well, people are happy with it. Big content creators and streamers and YouTubers are talking about it and making content about it. Like I already said, it is off to the perfect start. And the biggest hurdles, in terms of like making the game fun to play, adding the content, have already been crossed. If you were to ask me, I'd say that the best way to keep people playing in light of this is new content. The progression system is already pretty good for that, but new seasons bringing new content is what's going to keep people coming back to grind. Now, the fact that in the next year we're going to be getting Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, and Halo 4 added is going to help drastically with that, but any other additions 343 can find the time to make in terms of content, like new armor and unlockables, will help drastically as well. I do understand that they have absolutely got their work cut out for them right now, porting all the other games to PC, and they can't just magic out of thin air new armor or anything, although to be fair, there is GRD and that SPI looking helmet somewhere in the files, so fingers crossed, but any new content will help out massively. That is just my 2 cents, though. I don't know the secret to high player retention, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know the secrets to it. I just hope that we can sustain a strong population until infinite. Although, I say that, that's not entirely true. There is one thing that I am adamant will keep people playing, and it's something that's done wonders for countless other PC games and kept their populations high over years and in some cases even decades: modding. And on that front, I have some very good news. Now, despite the lack of official mod tools, Halo Reach mods are already being worked on. There's already a Nexus mods page for MCC, and on there, you'll find mods that can revert MCC's main menu to the original Reach main menu, or Halo 1's, or, you know, if you're feeling a little bit, what's the word? Eccentric? There's even a Tim Allen menu for some utterly peculiar reason. There are also mods that'll change your cursor to a pizza, because why not? Return the original Bungie intro when you open the game, unlock all the armor offline for like machinima purposes and art purposes, and many, many other abominations. Check it out. GameCheat also started an official Halo modding subreddit as well, r/Halo modding. Definitely go and check that out. It'll be where all the new mods are posted first, and also where people probably post mods that they're working on that are going to be out in the future for Breach and all the other MCC games as well. I mean, hell, there's even a guide on that subreddit right now for enabling Forge on PC, despite the fact that Forge isn't launching on PC till sometime next year. So if you want to go and start playing around on Forge World in Forge, then make sure you head over to that subreddit and check it out. There's also stuff like importing a flyable pelican into Forge World as well, so there's a lot of great stuff over there. It's mods like these and the many others that are undoubtedly going to sprout up over the next few months that are going to keep people coming back to MCC. Mods that allow people to play with the game in ways that were never previously possible. And if people are already managing to do this stuff now, then just wait until 343 release mod tools. So, I think all in all, the launch of Reach and MCC PC has been a resounding success. Despite the last-minute worries that we all had, it seems that for the first time in a long time, 343 have really pulled it out the bag when they needed to the most. The Master Chief Collection has gone from the laughingstock of the gaming industry to the game that could very likely usher in the next era of Halo. An era that, if all continues to go as well as it is now, could end up being our second golden age. I don't want to get too optimistic, it's always better to have more cautious expectations, but we've had the best possible start we could have ever had. I'm actually waking up every day and wanting to get on Halo and play. Honestly, I cannot put into words how long it has been since I've felt that. Halo 5, that withered away very quickly. The last time I felt it to this level was a long time ago. Now, it's all just up to 343 and what they're going to do to help maintain the player base. I have hope, I believe in them, they've pulled it out of the bag so far, they can do it again. And that's about all I want to say for today. I'm sorry if this video came off as a bit rambly and all over the place, but I just needed to vent positively about Halo for once. I've not had many opportunities in the past decade to be positive about Halo, so I'm going to make the absolute most of it now that I have an opportunity. I hope you guys can understand that. So let's end this positive Halo video there. I want to give a huge thank you to Enclave SOG and King K48 for becoming Primordials, and ThatChineseGuyHowii for becoming an iconic one over on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys supporting me over there, all of you new and old, and thank you all so much for watching. I'm so happy that Halo is actually making a comeback. Fingers crossed this keeps up, and I'll catch you all in the next one.